Hello viewers, I'm SB, and welcome back to Endless Space 2. Today we're going to be starting a game as the Lumeris, who I think they're okay in terms of faction design. I don't think they're the most exciting faction, but I do actually like their plot quite a bit. So their thing is that they are planet brokers. You don't get colony ships, but you can create an outpost directly on a planet just by spending dust, which means that the AI Lumeris are able to expand incredibly quickly at the beginning of the game, because they basically just have crazy amounts of free resources, right? For us, it's going to be a little bit slower. Our basic population unit is fine. I think the Pacifist Party is one of the better political parties, and unlike most factions, unlike I believe every other population unit, when you use the population booster, when you spend a luxury to boost your population on Lumeris, their effect does not double. It gains considerably more than that. I believe it goes up to plus 10 dust on Fertile, plus 2 dust. So I assume that the developers just felt that these guys, this population unit, needed a little bit of a push, not the faction as a whole, which I think is perfectly reasonable. We start with a unit of Nashast citizens. This is a faction type that is basically useless for a player in an AI game because your planets just don't get invaded all that much. I suspect that these guys are pretty good to have around in multiplayer, probably, but nobody's going to invade Genis, and frankly, we're going to try to minimize the number of Nashast we have in our empire. Lumeris are far more valuable, especially considering that we're trying to win a dust victory today. We are blockade breakers. Trade routes are not blockaded by other players with whom you are at Cold War, putting planets on the trade routes into guard mode. That's actually pretty relevant. That happens a lot, as we saw last game with all of those, all the pop-ups. We start with plus 20 approval on every system, all the time, forever. This is an awesome trait. It's very, very strong. Also, we have one more probe than our exploration ships would normally be able to carry. We start with off-world agribusiness, which is the tech that lets you talk to minor factions, and rare earth foams, which is not a very good tech, but, you know, Mediterranean worlds are cool. And we have the extended consortium trait, which is down here below our techs for some reason, and we can have more trading company headquarters. Yeah, that's fine. Trading companies are actually going to be a pretty big part of our game here. I'm going to be aiming to get those available as soon as possible. We start on the planet Genis, an atoll planet. It's a pretty good one as far as starting planets go. We start with a Republic. The Republic is actually one of my favorite, it's probably my favorite government type, but I don't really like starting with a Republic because of the fact that when you start with a Republic, you don't get access to the Cram Exam Act. The reason for that is that the Cram Exam Act is already, I think, maybe borderline too good. Like, activating Cram Exam Act is almost, like, mandatory if you have the ability to do so. And with the Republic, with the boosted version of Cram Exam Act, it would be far, far too good. And pacifist, like, I like the Pacifist Party laws quite a lot. So, without further ado, let's do the thing. I've turned on the Buccaneer skin. I don't know. This is a new fleet skin, and everything's normal. I put the pirates back down to normal. I don't really think we got anything out of the pirates being more difficult last game. Like, it's not really. There's a difference between things being harder and things being challenging, and you can certainly say that the pirates being on Endless makes the game harder, but not in a way that, like, it's not harder in a way that's interesting or that makes you make different decisions or anything. It's just like, okay, well, we'll blow up the pirates later than we ordinarily would. And I guess if the pirates happen to take control of an important choke point system or something, that could be interesting. But what it led to last game, and what I think generally would lead to, is us just ignoring the pirate worlds for longer. I don't really think that there's a lot of value there.
Sure, the families have disagreements.
That's why we have codes.
To work together. You don't steal the fish from somebody else's plate.
The second he walked in, I knew the kid was different. He'd take risks. Break the rules that tied my hands. But he ignores the codes. Goes overboard.
And dust, powerful stuff.
No personal use.
So we collect it, invest it.
And he misuses dust.
Complaints get handled here.
Not in back alleys.
Applies, shall we say, unnecessary force. Maybe he knows dust, but I know the families. And I need both of those to take the galaxy.
Also, I really, really like the Lumeris' music quite a lot. Okay, that's interesting. Our starting system has 3 habitable planets right away. Let's pop in here and look at these. So here we have, of course, our beautiful homeworld, 8642. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. And then, yeah, pretty good stuff all around. Not a lot of science to be had in our home system. I do love a lava world with a komatiite volcano. Although, obviously, this is a real shame. It's not showing the effect at the bottom of the tooltip box there. Weird. Okay, well, kind of goes without saying, right? We're going to need our drone networks. Because we did not start with xenolinguistics, we have to go get xenolinguistics. This is... Let me know in the comments below if you are a player who plays this game on a high difficulty or with other players who are reasonably good, and you find that it's correct to not take xenolinguistics early. Because this feels like a mandatory move for me. Like, if you don't start with it, you gotta go get it. And maybe you don't have to get it first, but you have to get it, like, probably within the first 2, right? Like, it's just too powerful for most factions. There are some people who need it less. I guess, like, Horatio starts on a hot world, right? It's probably less valuable there, although I think hot and fertile. But, like, for us, it's going to be 30 extra industry, plus another 30 if we take Gycon 4, which we very well may, given that it has a subterranean curiosity that's probably going to turn out to be Hyperium or Titanium. It just feels like a thing you gotta do. Okay, so we started with 2 scout ships because we do not have colony ships. So we're going to send one of them just kind of off into the dark. I'm not really sure where. Pick one direction, send the other guy in the other direction. And we're going to snap the hero in here, of course. Oh, wow, that was a short trip. Why don't you go and look this way, since there's nothing to explore here on Farver. We have access to Blue Cat Mold right away. Not a bad Tier 1 system development type resource. Although, of course, I would prefer Jade Onyx or Red Sang. And our population is boosted by Deciduous Trees, and the Nashast are boosted by something of a higher tier, something I'm not particularly worried about. So, in terms of laws, here's where we're at right now. We are at 70% approval, because remember, the base 50 plus 20% from our trade. That makes running something like the Peacetime Prosperity Initiative a little bit low in value, since it would drop us by a happiness tier down to 50. That would probably offset the amount of dust that we're gaining. This might be slightly dust positive even, but even if it is, it's going to be food and science and influence negative. So I don't think we want to run that. Obviously, it's not great to take an industry hit right away, but I wonder if this pushing us to ecstatic would actually make it worthwhile. A 10% reduction in industry is a 4-point loss. We're not even talking about adding an extra turn to stuff for the most part. And it would result in an extra, I think does your food and influence go up to 30%? Or it's weird that it's 10% at the second tier when it's 15% for dust and science. And unfortunately, the fact that I'm playing 2 endless games simultaneously now has meant that I'm mixing stuff up in my head all over the place. Let's try it. I'm kind of curious. Okay, 25. So it was an extra 15% food and industry. It's just that the first tier up is not 15%. So an extra 15% food. We lost a small amount of science. It did add 1 turn to the drone networks. But honestly, maybe it's worthwhile. Maybe the extra food is important enough in the early game, and it is also resulting in an extra 15% science and dust. I think, as much as I love early game industry, this is a trade that may be worth making. Trading off a little bit of early building for a little bit of early population growth probably is right. Food is very important. Okay, that's good. We got our hero in here. I suppose we are going to explore things. Let's learn about Gaikon 4. Over here there are mushrooms. Over here there is titanium, which we are currently learning how to exploit. So, like, this is going on the docket pretty early, probably before even, like, Cerebral Reality. We want to get the titanium income, and the benefit of this in terms of both xeno-industrial infrastructure and xenobiology is just extremely high. That's a big, important move. Xenobiology is next, right? We may as well queue that up. Like, we have to go get this. I do think that off-world agribusiness is also an important early game tech, and I think sometimes that can be the second thing you want to go for, or maybe even arguably the first, but the fact that we started with it for free means we don't have to think about it. And I'm not too worried about the first food tech here, even though I did just say food is important, because a big part of what's important about that food tech is that it helps you make up the food loss from not being on a temperate world, and we are all temperate right now. I'm debating putting additional probes on this ship. It's going to cost dust. It's going to cost, what, 90, I believe? Yeah, 90 to probe both of those. But it'll mean that this fleet can generate up to 7 probes. Now, we're only going to have this hero in the fleet for a little while, at the beginning of the game here, because I really do think this guy's a governor. Although that's a pretty great fleet bonus. 10 dust per anomaly on colonized planet. He has Blue Sky Speculator, which is a nice early boost to science. Yeah, we're gonna have to make this guy a governor. I think that was worth the dust, though. If that results in us being able to get access to 2 things that drop dust earlier than we otherwise would have, we've already paid off the cost, right? And there's a lot of other things you can use probes for. A lot of other valuable things you can find. So I'm feeling okay about our position here. We need to find a habitable planet. Yeah, sure, like that one. That's exactly the sort of thing I was thinking of. Let's see what we got here. Blue cap, but also potatoes. Great. You probably have noticed at this point in the series that I do not value the potatoes very much. However, we're going to have a lot more dust to play with this time, and there's no point in not spending it. So maybe we will actually care about potatoes. Let's check these ruins. We've discovered basic monohull plating. Okay, that's a fine defense module. We're definitely going to go for Blue Sky Speculator. At this point in the game, 30 science is a lot. So if we could send him back to the planet on turn 9, or back to the system on turn 9 with both levels of that would be really cool. So let's talk about inhabiting this Terran planet. 11354. Yeah, the fact that we have 2 luxury resources that also are crops. It's pretty great. So this is going to cost us 225 dust. Now, to be clear, we put down an outpost, not a colony. I know this tooltip's a little vague about it. It says colonize the planet. We put down an outpost, not a colony, so we do still have to ship food over from the home planet, which is... Yeah, we have enough food to bear that. We're not going to get quite the growth I would like. But it really is nice to have two systems in the early game. Also, I really like these little cutscenes. They're very calming. Okay, so if we can get to 150 food in the near future, or 150 dust, we can dramatically reduce the settle time here, but already it's pretty low. Nice high food planet. Alright, we're gonna stay put for a moment, on account of being out of movement, you know, being required by the game rules to stay put. Tag this last curiosity before we leave. Found... Okay, a battle tactic that I generally don't care for. I wonder how powerful this actually is, though. Like, what if you were doing the thing that we saw the AI doing that one time, where you're just running around with, tons and tons of small ships? Like, could that be an actual strategy? Letting your small ships get buffed up by by watching each other die? Seems a little cruel. We discovered the Garden of Eden. +1 population slot. Really, that's it? Hold on a second. Doesn't the Garden of Eden... It's like +1 all resources and +1 population slot or something, right? I think we're experiencing a bug here where the tooltips are not showing any values that are related to FIDs. Which is weird. So yeah, you can see +1 food, +1 dust, and then I assume the strong magnetic field is zeroing out some of the other benefits. Still, that's a pretty good planet. And we have one more point of movement left. Well, let's keep looking. Also, what is this way? We found the system of Orm with lots and lots of resources. Okay, well, we got a point of population, which is pretty great. What is it? It's Lumeris. Okay, yeah, I'm really happy to have that, actually. It's going to be a lot of food in the home system. And also 25 more influence. So, with all that influence, I think what we're going to do is pop this. So the first food ship that arrives will be carrying 88 food. I think we haven't actually sent any ships yet, right? Okay. Yeah, so that'll be active for the first one. Influence is less important to the Lumeris than it is to other players in the early game. Not the generation of influence, because obviously growing your influence bubbles is cool. But you don't use influence to deal with minor factions with these guys. You use dust. So we can afford to be a little cavalier with our influence supplies. And then, since you're at a dead end, I guess we just fire a probe off into space and see if we get lucky. And then this guy heads back. Well, we picked the right direction with our hero fleet. Yep, here comes the first food ship carrying... Oh, that says 44. I wonder if this actually doubles the amount of food that arrives at the outpost, not the amount of food that is sent out. Like, the contents of the food ship don't show the doubling, but it's still doubled here. We can have some idea. This says colony in 17 turns. When that ship arrives, it would reduce that amount by, what, like, about 3 turns if it's not doubled? 3.5. I mean, it's not gonna show us the half. The game does not truck in fractional turns. And here we have the Pulsos. I do like the Pulsos. So what do we... +1 industry per curiosity discovered on systems. That's not a bad trait. And, as a population type, they're pretty good. So we're going to have to pour a bunch of dust into bribing them, but it's definitely worth doing, right? We could pick up a new system. The only reason to balk at this is to be like, well, I wish I was using my dust to colonize systems, but that's what we're doing, right? Just in kind of a roundabout way. So I'm trying to think, is there anything else? It feels like I'm just kind of passing the turn real quickly here, but I think we're doing everything right. Our base science output is bad. These blue cap shrooms are actually going to be very helpful with that. Once we have the ability to use them in that way. Here comes the faction quest. I chewed Arden out after that fiasco. He managed to upset all 3 of the other families, not to mention a few of my Mios siblings. How much clearer can instructions be than do what you gotta do and don't get caught? The kid had promise, but more papilla than propriety. Brash is good, but brash and canny is better. As the current head of the families, I wanted to keep the others off balance, not start a war. It doesn't matter, he said. They don't understand dust any better than we do. They'll be back, one by one, to do business with us. New business. Galactic business. Measured in dust, not Sakan. What do you know? First was Oros Arakio herself, in a wheelchair, but with eyes that glinted like harpoon tips. She pointed a limb toward the sky and said, "Up there. We're going to go there. Build there. No zoning laws. No building codes. Give me access." When she leaned forward, it was like she was ready to spear a fish. Let's get rich. The Mios, the Arakio, together. She left, and Arden and I had barely started discussing the possibilities when Irio Ferbarda strode in, worth 3 trillion Sakan, but looking like his clothes cost 10. No detritus. Here's the deal. Developing space means stations, ports, docks, factories. We know there's cheap labor out there, and no workplace safety hassles and whiny environmental regulators. The Omokar can develop the galaxy. You bring us in, we cut you in. Everybody wins. And, late at night, sometime after their evening services to their whale gods, Joden Kern Adelen Selim arrived, ready to sell seawater to a squid. You know what you need, but I'll tell you anyway. Exploration, protection, freight, tourists. You need ships. Ships, you say? Who do I go to? Yeah, that's right. Lancelum. Us. Colonies and outposts means trade, travel, ships. Let's do this thing. He pointed out the window. Boom. I do not like this guy. Arden and I were grinning at each other when he left, but for different reasons. So, who do we work with? I mulled. It doesn't matter. This is just the start of the game. We can pick and choose. But you know what the endgame's gonna be. He leaned in. Expensive cologne. I wondered who else was paying him. Dust. It's all gonna come down to dust. So, we can choose to work with the Arakio, the Omokar, or the Lancelum. I don't like this guy, and also his goal is ridiculous. The Omokar will give us dust, straight up, if we succeed at this objective that is, like, extremely a thing we want to do anyway. And the dust is just like we're rolling our settling engine into further settlements. The Arakio, I mean, we're going to do this anyway, too, but 30 Jade Onyx as a goal here is, like, pretty weak. It's possible we could sell the Jade Onyx for more than 200 dust on the market, but we also won't have access to the market by the time we're done with this, right? This is going to happen very, very early. So I think we roll this way. The earlier you get that value, the sooner you can start applying it. And I think we're going to hang out for a turn. I do want to probe and stuff here, but if we drop our probe, it's going to increase the cost of the next bribe, because the cost of that stuff is based on how many positive reputation effects you have going right now. And that's another one, really? Okay, well, I guess we know what direction we're going in, but I'm still going to send this probe down here. Okay, this is a heck of a start. Very, very interesting. So we're going to stay put, get 100 dust, use the 100 dust to bribe them again, then we search the curiosity for them. That'll give them enough approval with us to eventually get their quest. We won't need anything more than that. You should probably get over here. It seems like your services are going to be required. We are not going to have enough probes for all the things we need to do. Then again, maybe we just want to head you down. I don't know. Go there and we'll figure it out next turn. Oh, we're almost done with the drone networks. We probably do want to spend a little bit of industry working on Gaikon. As soon as Xenolinguistics is finished, we'll switch to Xeno-Industrial Infrastructure, and then we'll just slide it in above Gaikon, because we still definitely want this, and soon. But I'm liking where we're at so far. Now, I will say, when you spend your dust buying relationship points with the minor factions, you're not exactly colonizing planets. You're giving yourself a chance to colonize their planets, right? They could give you a quest that is difficult or maybe even undoable. Effectively undoable. It's hard to know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, we can go have a chat with them. You know what? You just go this way. So we've discovered the sowers, pragmatists, soil healers, plus 25 food per sterile on all the systems that we own. This is not a population bonus. This is an empire bonus if we get that assimilation. That's very interesting. And then, of course, their population type is pretty cool. Plus 2 Fidziate per citizen on planets with reduced anomalies. That's a place where we have taken a negative or mixed anomaly and gotten the negative off of it with that tech. That's very interesting. So we're going to be able to pay them once. They only have one curiosity for us to search as well. You know what? We maybe should have gone this way first, because I'm thinking we want to do the same thing with these guys that we did with on Ceres. We want to bribe them twice before we search their curiosity. See, the cost of a bribe here is now risen fairly sharply. I'm hoping some of these probes are going to find us something interesting. So far, not a lot of luck on that front. So yeah, we're just going to go straight through. We'll search Liesel, head back to Nakar to do the search on Nakar. We may as well give these guys the first bribe now, though. And then after we search the curiosity on Nakar, we'll reassign Yelchin. He's almost level 3, so we're going to have both points of that science skill, which is going to help a lot with this drudgery. Getting through these very, very slowly. Drudgery is not... We're trudging, is what I was thinking in my head. And then I said drudgery, but drudgery is not really about slowness, so much as about tedium. And who could think science was tedious? I ask you. Alright, show me a bunch of dust. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take a point of population, a point of Pulsos population even. And apparently, we accomplished an objective. Unfortunately, this is not enough Jadonics for me to feel comfortable putting it in a system booster. Because then man, maybe I should though, right? Well, you know what? Not a decision we have to make right now. And the cooperative quest for the unlocking of the behemoths has begun. On this game speed, on this game size, my experience so far, you've all seen, has been that we do not have to do anything here. The AI will take care of it, and pretty quickly. Let's head back up. We'll have enough money for the second bribe next turn, and then the search. We'll put them on 50 points of relationship, which is all you need. We are, however, having a little bit of starvation. Oh, we lost our nearest population too. Man, that's unfortunate. But you know, I mean, we gotta settle, right? I was not paying attention, but it looks like we got proper doubling, even though the amount in the food ships is not appearing to have doubled. But this should be done shortly after that food ship arrives, so that's good at least. And we're well on our way to having presence in 2 more systems here. Alright, so get the second bribe off. Give him one of these. Okay, that was dust. I'm happy to see that. We also discovered Ice 10. It's one worse than Ice 9. Apparently what you really want is Ice 1. Ice 1 is the best ice. Maybe Ice 0. Although that does kind of sound like a soft drink. If there's stuff, it's probably this way toward the center. This is a little bit unfortunate that we find ourselves out here. But I should definitely spend these probes. Because the hero's about to leave with a bunch of them. So he is adding 30 science and also no dust currently. Okay, get back over here. I think we all want to stay on this planet. 8-6 versus 9-5. That's actually interesting. Maybe we don't. Also, I totally forgot the thing I said I was going to... You know, this is fine. It's all fine. Listen. Optimal play is... Why would you want to play optimally? That's my question. I'm getting so wrapped up in doing other things. But now we have some resource income. We're going to finish xenobiology in a second here. And then, like I'm saying, I think we need to get to trade companies quickly. We don't have access to any Hyperium just yet, but actually, the Interplanetary Transport Network would be really useful. We'll definitely move all of our population to Gaikon 4 once we have that. And I'm kind of thinking we maybe move them all now. It's more food. It's more food, of course we do. It's still temperate, it's still fertile, we still get our increased dust output, yeah, definitely. Okay, so what's next? I guess what's next is this ship also heading this way? Oh, also tech. So yeah, we gotta get plasma metallurgy, and then we want to access the first level of system development as quickly as possible. Get commercial frameworks going. So let's get galactic commodities. We're gonna have a good use for all the dust we can make off of selling stuff on the market. And then the question is, do we want astrofinance for even more dust? Or do we want multi-thread management for better use of the dust we are going to be able to get? My feeling, like, we absolutely will have to get this no matter what. I'm not 100% certain whether we'll end up with Astrofight. Yeah, we probably will. Yeah, I think this is right. I think this is right. So, we are present on 3 planets now. Quest is coming along. This is our next goal here, colonizing Orm. Alright, they're starting to pay up, which is lovely. And, I mean, there is, in fact, stuff down here. I guess get over here. Let's figure it out. So, what have we? A point of population. Tikkanen, not great. And then a couple of more resource deposits. So we're going to have a lot of extra luxuries to sell. Good that we're getting access to the marketplace already. And you can see how much our research has already sped up. 76 science per turn from our empire. Almost half of that is that hero. We're still totally ecstatic about everything. But only just barely, right? If we cut the thing, we'd be at 70. If we cut the law that's giving us 30 approval, we'd be at 79, which is not ecstatic, unfortunately. And we're replacing the lost population. A 58 food per turn is pretty good. I think we're making the right move here by sacrificing a small amount of industry. I think. We have the ability to inhabit Harvard, but obviously this is a bigger deal. It's going to cost us 364. Okay, here, of course, we have picked up a temperate, fertile world. So it makes no sense to do anything other than go for Xeno-industrial infrastructure right away. Over here, I'm going to get Cerebral Reality, public-private partnerships, and then if we actually got supermarkets up on both of our systems, we could ditch that law and thus regain some precious industry. Or maybe we should take the colonizable planet here. There's no industry at all, and the resources aren't good. But I'm just thinking about, preventing people from hemming us in too much. Ooh. Okay, we got something out here. Small Terran with friendly locals. 9344. Not bad. Well, we have a lot of places we can go once we start getting enough dust. It's just a matter of getting to that point. Which we're working on. Once we have access to the market, things are going to open up on us a little bit. Open up on us? Open up for us a little bit. Okay, turns out we will not be grabbing Fatia right away. That's pretty unimportant to our overall plan, I think. I'm going to send a probe directly into the center of the galaxy. Then we're going to go that way. This is a neutron star. Man, that is very pretty. Also loud. Louder than I would have thought. Okay, Liesel has also become a pirate system. We'll wipe it out, or we'll clear it out eventually, or not, whatever. It's all kind of whatever. I like the idea of the pirates in the same way that I like the idea of barbarians and Civ, but I don't feel like they do a great job here. I think what you would need, rather than making them like more numerous or ornerier, what you really need is... Oh, are we... Okay, never mind. I thought this was the edge of an influence bubble, but it's just a bit of the fog of war terrain that is a lighter. What you would really need is for them to be more of a threat to your planets, which unfortunately might require a little bit of a rework of how the whole taking planets over system works, because I don't know how you would make them more effective at taking planets under the current system. Look at the rate of reproduction there. Oh, looks like we found 2 minor factions. Unfortunately, not necessarily immediately available to us. I think those probes are both going to actually miss the worlds. Oh, there's a solar nebula nearby. That's pretty cool. Oh no, we did manage to hit this one. So, what's your deal? Wow. Heroes with a system get 20 extra approval. That's pretty cool. Do I want to give them dust? We have enough dust that we could probably bribe them 3 times. And they're paying us even more. Oh, that means that it's time to assist. So we're actually pretty far from the amount of dust we need to colonize Ohm. I think we should probably bribe. Let's throw some bribes at him. Hey, hold on. Let's read the quest we just got. Generate 102 science in one of your systems sometime in the next 14 turns. Well, we're about to gain 60 science from public-private partnerships plus cerebral reality, so cool, that's done. We have another system, we have another planet, so this is also done, and this is going really well. We were not the first to control 4-star systems in the same constellation, but you know what? Not for lack of trying. We put a good shot into that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you would do to make the pirates, like, more necessary to deal with. As it is now, in a lot of ways you can ignore them, and that's true regardless of the pirate difficulty, just because they don't really interact with the game systems in a terribly meaningful way, so we'll bribe them one more time next turn. The Nakar are still coming along. It's going to be a second. Alright, get bribed. So here's a new player. We've met Horatio.
Fortune smile.
Okay, apparently they stopped my ship. System doesn't look like it's in guard mode. So we probably, we definitely want to get Antares under control because I want to bottleneck a little bit. Taking Fatia would be cool, but it's a little risky trying to take a system that's so close to another player because their food ships get there before yours do, and that can be a real problem. So you're +6 per turn, you're coming along. You guys are +5 per turn. Yeah, we're gonna get there. I don't need to spend any more dust on that, I just need to let time pass. Alright, the pirates are less powerful than my ship. Not a huge amount, though. This may result in the end of that prowler, it may not. I was confident that our ship wouldn't die, although if I were to guess, I probably would have guessed that he would end up with more health than that. But anyway, you have somewhere to be. Okay, so we are going to have to, after we get... I think we're gonna go straight to commercial frameworks here, but after we get commercial frameworks, we'll double back and pick up efficient shielding, probably. We'll see how things feel. The fact that we're about to have a couple of extra ships from taking over these minor factions, though, may make it not necessary. I don't know. We'll see. We're making a lot of dust per turn now, so colonizing Orm is not far off. We have another source of strategic resources, which would be great. Send a probe down this way. Oh, that's his homeworld, too. That's interesting. You can head off in that direction. You know, if we have to wipe him out, I'm sure he'll understand. It's just business. Also, now we have access to the market, and we have so many things to sell. Let's get this under control. Backtrack by, explore atmospheric curiosities. I will do it wherever I can. I swear to you. Let's try this way, because I think these two starlings are going to the same place, probably. See if there are any atmospheric curiosities still around here. So yeah, in 2 turns, this will hit 50. What is the money amount we're trying to get to? 394. I think we can probably do that. We do not need this Jadonix. Bam. Problem solved. Give me Orm 3. Yeah, man, that's just very pretty. We can probably afford to spend influence on this. It'll go faster if we also spend dust, but we could instead spend that dust picking up a different, like maybe Gatria? Gatria is not super valuable. We need 549. Country is not super valuable in the sense of it actually having good worlds, but positionally it may be important. Also, just, you know, like, systems are good. What was it, 549? I think we want this. I mean, also, this world is pretty solid, 9344. 549. I bet I can get to 549. So we're going to make our first system booster out of blue cap mold, probably, which means we can afford to part with all of that. And this system actually does have a science world, which will be cool. Alright, so we don't have an ability to bring in food chips here, and that actually may be beneficial. I don't know that I would want to. Can we get to 250 dust? Let's see. If these are 6 each, we need about 125. So let's sell 21 of them. And we'll double that up. Okay. Well, we're doing it. We're going places. I believe it was counting Timos as a planet we had presence on already, right? So we should get more dust here. Not that we necessarily need it, although we are going to have to pay the sowers to let us in on their faction quest. Also, where are we at on the science buildings? Just about to finish it. Cool. So 200 dust for us. Oh, there was extra text there I could have read. These minor civilization rubes look like they've never seen civilization before. They're happy to have a steady job, and we're happy to help them spend their paychecks. It's win-win, but there are more opportunities out there. Some dissidents starting organizing the minor civilization workers. That's a low blow. It's going to take some payoffs to get things moving again. Reach 150 dust per turn in one of your systems. I mean, I thought you would never ask. Obviously, we will put some solid effort into that. Okay, it looks like we may have reached the end of the constellation. Oh, you know what? I haven't looked at our constellation bonus. It is food. Lovely. Alright, so we're going to get Ceres at the beginning of the turn here. We're going to be able to pay them to give us a quest at the beginning of this coming turn. Things feel pretty good. Like, I'm pretty happy right now. I think we probably don't want to take Farver just yet, because the world we have access to here is, yeah, it's not awesome. We may want to save a little bit of dust for unforeseen circumstances. It'd be really cool if we could get Forest, though. Alright, Ceres is ours. The system's variety of peculiar architectural landmarks, surrounded by examples of far more modern construction, is evidence of a barely FTL civilization that was assimilated by a more technologically advanced galactic empire. Although some of the traditional customs and ways of the Pulso persist, they have essentially adopted Lumeris culture. Alright, cool, hold on. I want to see what is going on over here. Okay. Purple has expanded in this direction. Let's keep looking around. Did our probe out to the center of the galaxy find anything? It looks like it may not. You can give me a couple of looks like over here, and then we will head this way. I mean, we're getting a lot of vision. We also got 30 titanium from that. Clearly proud, the Pulsos leads you around the vast underground complex. Listen, I skipped all this text. I don't even know what they're talking about. We have 15% food on all of our systems, and let's see what these guys want. Explore curiosities until you discover... We picked up the signal 3 days ago, says the Sower's representative, looking apprehensive. May I? I should probably do more of a robot voice. You wave a hand. The audio is distorted, and an unholy wailing din can be heard in the background, but the speaker's whispered words are clear. Something escaped from one of the labs, and none of the others have come back. The words suddenly become louder. Somebody has to help us, for all our sakes. Okay, signal is of Sower's origin, but where it hails from is uncertain. Again, probably should have robot voiced it a little. Explore curiosities. Okay, I can do that. I love exploring curiosities. And, speaking of curiosities, it turns out there's a thing here that we could explore. And then we'll get, Xeno-Industrial Infrastructure, not actually awesome here. I don't know, do that stuff. And we have gained access to this tier, which means we now can formulate ourselves a system booster, which I think we will definitely make out of this stuff. We're mining these at a rate of 2 per turn. Well, that number needs to go up. Where's the... Okay, on Timos, we're actually on the deposit. We're also on a deposit here, too. They're just bad. They're just both extremely bad deposits. Definitely give me that interplanetary transport network. This is going to be a bustling planet. Doing a lot of good work here. Alright, the Calgaros are paying us a little bit, which is nice. We just need to find some curiosities to explore. So we're going to be able to get our first trade company up actually really quickly. I have high hopes for it. I think we should send these guys over here and have them start starving out the pirate base. If we get the sowers on board as well, we will easily be able to wipe them out with 4 small ships. Although we may have to... It may take a moment before we're ready to attack. Oh, really? Another solar nebula. Interesting. And our influence bubble is actually expanding quickly enough that we're going to get both of those soon. And what have we? Nothing. Well, there's probably some curiosities over there somewhere. So they currently have 300 manpower defending them. We have 200 manpower to put in. It's 100 per small ship. So we don't have to wait that long before this becomes reasonable. We may want to pursue a little bit more science, I'm thinking, because that would reveal more curiosities, and that might be a good way to get rolling on the next system. Also, we do need this to actually colonize. Is this worth spending 350 dust on? Food ships are coming out slowly, and the longer we're running this, the longer we're taking a penalty to the food growth of... Wait, are we pulling food from... We are pulling food from Timos. So it's very slightly negative. You know, honestly, it probably is most important to get Gaikon growing, but... Given that we don't currently see an actually good planet for us to take over, I think it is probably worth spending that. The first food ship to arrive here is going to take 3 turns off of it, and it'll be boosted through the rest of the settling process. Oh, elections, right. Well, I think we probably want to be either pacifist ecologist or pacifist industrialist. Right now, probably more this one. Obviously, the new colony rule would be pretty handy to have. The green fertility bill is not super great for us because we don't actually have that many anomalies on our currently settled planets. No, I don't want to skip the election. I want to go back and look at the Pulsos homeworld because I'm realizing I didn't verify that that was the case. But you know, the new colony rule and the Mineral Misers Act are both great. So yeah, let's throw our official support behind the industrialists. And if the ecologists come out ahead, that's also fine. It's looking industrialist. Okay, I think that's good for us. I think we probably want to institute that law. Oh, we don't have the 3rd law slot yet. That's right. We are still holding devoted, and it is still... Alright, tooltips are freaking out a little bit. It is still because of the 20 approval from that law, right? So let's see here. This would be 98 minus 12. Okay, so Gaikon would actually still be ecstatic. Obviously, we wouldn't be here. Timos is also still ecstatic? No, never mind. I can't math. So yeah, we're still getting a lot of value out of that law, honestly. At this point... This is 15 dust. We'll double to 30 eventually. That's not really that good. I think I would rather have the food and industry. Because we're already producing so much dust because we're producing it from other places. Also, we don't really need to do this here, but it doesn't really matter where we do it. We don't have a lot of percentage modifiers to our science that are system-specific. So we'll do that, and then we'll build the intergalactic supermarket, which will be more effective once we are modernized. I think that's reasonable to do. You guys finding me any places where we could explore? Nope. You have, however, met the Harmony. That's interesting. Also, we've met the Unfallen. There are no other star lanes out of here, so the Unfallen are probably from another nearby constellation, is my guess. Unfortunately, like I said, no curiosities, so... having some minor problems here with our faction, or minor faction quests. Let's see if we can guess where the Unfallen came from. Also, wormholes. Wormholes might be a thing, like... I never do get around to researching the wormhole tech very quickly. We have 7 turns left on this one. 10 turns left on this one, but each food ship will take 3 turns off, and we have food ships incoming. Or no, sorry, we're doubled on this one, right? Yeah, so food ships should be... the food ship should almost finish it by the time it gets there. Alright, and we're starving them out slowly. How far are we from the quest on... oh, we're right there, in fact. Okay, capture, assimilate, or attract new population to get more influence. Pirates rarely hang out for very long. Especially if they're not on a system that had been marked. I guess we're heading back this way. I'm a little bit less eager to bribe these guys because I think we're probably not going to be able to take them over. So next turn we'll be able to drop 105 dust here. I think I'm going to wait until after we see what this quest is. Then we'll determine whether we want to spend dust on that. And in 3 turns we'll have access to commercial networks, which may mean us interrupting the galactic supermarket in order to get our first trade company going as quickly as possible. Come on, nope, that was not the curiosity that popped the quest. That's a shame. You just gotta keep looking until you get lucky. What was it, though? It was the design for the honeycomb scope. That's fine, I guess. Okay, this thing happened. We did not find any atmospheric curiosities. That's okay. What do you guys want? Take control of a planet in a new system adjacent to forest. That is unfortunate. Well... doable, just unfortunate. It's not going to be totally trivial, which of course is what I was hoping for. Alright, let's talk about dust and science. Well, we've met the Hisho. Probably down this way. So what do we want to do next? We probably want to move up to the next tier of science tech, and actually, I want baryonic shielding as well. So we could get like baryonic shielding and eukaryotic sap for the Applied Happiness program, which is great. Or we could pick up PEV scale accelerators, help us science out a little bit faster. You know what, let's go eukaryotic sap. So, oh, we have to get 3 techs on this tier to move up. Okay, so we'll get this too, I guess. I'm just thinking we want access to more curiosities, which we will get both from this and from this, so that we can take a crack at actually getting Nakar converted. We probably are not, like, short on time or anything. I doubt anybody else is going to be after it. And then we should probably... it's probably not worth trying to get one of our scouts back. We should just build a new scout. Actually, can we update this design at all? We don't have access to new engines or anything. Nope, okay. Base design scout. Or... we have the ability to rush stuff. Scout is 615. I'm wondering if it's actually better to wait till Gatria finishes, then buy a scout there, if that'll be faster. Because if we're talking about the slowest possible engines and everything, this from Nekat over to here is going to be quite a trip. Also, I'm not 100% sure how adjacent works in this circumstance. It may be that the game considers Gatria to be adjacent because it's within a certain amount of space distance. It might not be that you have to be at the end of a star lane that is connected to forests, although that is what I am currently expecting. So yeah, I think we wait until Gatria is done and then buy ourselves a scout, which we should be able to do with money from the market. Once Orm is finished, we may want to pick up Farver right then. I'm trying not to spread us too thin on food, but obviously expansion is good. Oh, that's interesting. We actually have this guy going the wrong way. I want him to go over to here. It's gonna take him a minute to fix the thing I did. But yeah, there's stuff to explore over that way. So we could make an investment. We're talking about having to buy out a... yeah, we should do this, though. I'm gonna put one more praise into them. We gotta get to 125. Fortunately, we have no use for these potatoes beyond selling them. We also have all this titanium we could sell. Like, we're definitely gonna be able to get the amount of dust we need to get. What I'm worried about right now is mostly food. Alright, the pirates dare to attack us. We would like to engage at medium-ish range, so would they. It's kind of irrelevant. It's actually the same ship, isn't it? It doesn't have the same name, but it has the same art. Okay. Yeah, about the result you would expect. We're about to get that baryonic shielding, which will hopefully reveal us a bunch more interesting curiosities. We have indeed found the home of the Unfallen. There's some pirates and stuff over here. They're vining things up. Alright, show me some new curiosities. Some new curiosities that I can exploit. There's a new thing on Fatia. Alright, no curiosities here, although there is some competition between Horatio and the Hisho for space, which is probably something we need to keep an eye on. One of them may elect to wipe the other one out. We have discovered a new curiosity here. May as well throw that in the queue. Oh, also, yeah, trading companies. Remember that? Remember trading companies? Is that our highest industry? Yeah, it is. Okay. Want to get that started. So here on Ceres, probably we go into... this is not great, but, man, 10 industry. That's really not great. Also, we need to get... do we have access to mushrooms from the marketplace? Could we buy some? We could buy some. Currently, we would need 17, which is not something I can afford right now. Except that this stuff is very valuable. Okay. Let's buy these. Let's also buy 6 deciduous trees. Get a population booster here. So yeah, plus 10 on fertile, plus 2. Pretty good. That's a lot of dust, man. Booster's going to pay for itself. Alright, and then I want to put up a level 2 modernization here, mostly because I want to be able to ship these guys off to systems where we can actually make use of their science on anomaly trait. And then, like, yeah, we'll consider... so maybe we should prioritize supermarkets. Try to get to a point empire-wide where we can afford to dump the approval law. I do think we're getting good food out of it, though. Eukaryotic sap is actually going to help with that as well. And it gave us access to Ceres 2, which does have a curiosity. Probably want to keep the population on Ceres 1 for now because of all the industry. Alright, what else are we doing? Got this queued up. I could just rush it. It's probably not a great use of our dust. We're 2 turns off the colony here, although... that booster is also going to end in just a moment. Let's guess. I'm going to send this down here. I'm going to send it off axis a little bit, just hoping to maybe reveal something of what is down this way as well. And let us go and hopefully find some more curiosities. I wonder if we should just throw a bunch of money into the Nakar, get them to max approval, and buy them out. So we did gain access to another tier of science, which means that we can see more curiosities than we used to be able to see. And we can also build better engines than we used to be able to build. This might be a good time to go grab efficient shielding, and then we may... we probably want to open up another law slot, actually, so why don't we finish this? We could get the Academy Embassy, we could get adaptive bureaucracies, we could get botanical scanning, which is a little bit better as a food tech for us. Like, intensive cultivation logistics is actually great some of the time. But also, we're in a place where I feel like we probably want to have access to a lot of influence, like... This is the kind of government where you want to run a lot of laws. We're going to cut Toys for Boys for now because we're about to finish a planet. The 30% food is cool. Mostly I'm thinking about this. Because we can be getting food and approval instead of just getting approval. Alright, we might lose a scraper here, which would be a real shame. Unfortunately, there's no way I can tell the ships to, like, keep this guy behind that guy. Yeah, we totally did. Well, that's annoying. So we dropped below devoted, but it'll just be for a second. And we have to have the law running when the new colony is founded in order for the boost to apply. So this actually takes one turn longer without the boost. I'm certainly not going to spend 350 dust on that, though. And this is actually done... Oh, man. This is really good. Okay. Well, we found a place where there's some curiosities to search, at least. It's a shame that all these extra curiosities popped up all over the place. Like, we can see so many searchables, but not in the area we can get to. Okay, the Harmony are paying up. It's nice of them. We've got boost here. So we can now actually afford to rush stuff. You know, industrial infrastructure is going to be so good here. That's actually what I want to rush. Can I make that happen? I sold like 20 of these. It's 1.5. Apparently it is 1547. It would be okay if they just didn't truncate values. I'd be alright with that. If we rush this, we're not going to be able to rush that scout. Yeah, I think it's still worth it. This system is going to get set up so quickly. Actually, put that there. Yeah, this is going to be really, really good. And you can search a couple curiosities. Come on, get me a minor faction. Well, apparently the signal did not come from either of those. 10 XP for our ship, and 150 dust. Pretty great. Looks like by shooting this slightly off axis, what's actually going to happen here is I'm going to find out what's at the end of neither of these star lanes. So it turns out we are totally actually going to be able to rush that scout. I do want to make sure that we upgrade it because, of course, we have access to better engines now. Got ourselves another lovely lovely bit of approval here.
Feel free to anger. Do you enjoy
Do you know how far away we... Like, he has to know where I am, right? His scientists were able to make that space call. How does he think this is gonna... I don't know, man. I don't know. 886 now. Also, actually, enough industry that's not a crushingly long build time. I'll tell you what, we'll rush it next turn. We'll let them build a little bit of it manually. So here on Timos, we're exploring this curiosity. Maybe this will be the one that Minor Faction was looking for. And we could talk about opening it up on Farver. Actually, it's pretty expensive. Do I want to go for that? I want to rush this scout out first, right? Because we want to get this system developing. Yeah, we'll worry about Farver in a little bit. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know why they think they can do this. Well, you know what? They've also revealed that it has antimatter, so that's interesting. We might just take that through influence growth, actually. Maybe we take Antares through influence pressure. We just have to make sure to stay on top of that goal. But actually, I really like that idea. We could try to buy it off of it.
Contact with us brings more worry than joy.
That's fair.
Horatio.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to look at his star system deals. We could tell him to remove it. He probably won't do this, but it also doesn't cost us anything. We may get some value out of it.
Horatio doubts your motives.
He's not leaving.
And your ethics.
I say press him. He increases his pressure on me. I also increase my pressure on him. That'll show him. That'll probably he'll care about that to some degree, maybe a little bit, possibly. Oh, figure out what this is. This could also be the curiosity that flips Nakar. All right, things are going well. I notice we are over the hour here, but we're gonna do another. Yep, that was one of them. Was in fact Nakar. Okay, cool. Let's get you guys down here, and that should enable us to finish off that pirate base. We also got 30 more titanium that we can use to sell. Okay, you guys are mad because I did the thing to make you mad. That's fair. I did do it because I knew it would make you mad, which I guess is kind of screwed up, but also in a way it's very, very funny. So consider that. Think about that part. We found a wreck here on Timos.
It gives me play.
They are increasing their diplomatic pressure on us, so... Yeah, wow. That's really something. So you can see we're just barely able to hold up a single law that has an influence cost. Something to think about. So we're extremely devoted right now. We're like way past devoted, right? Because we have... Yeah. So let's definitely also run the Super Tax Act. Yeah, because we're... All of our systems are at like 160 approval. And then I'm not really sure what we're doing with our dust. We have a lot of stuff going on right now. So these guys have already built their Xeno-industrial infrastructure and their infinite supermarkets. Look at them. Look at you on top of the ball. We have a pretty cool empire going here. First trading company headquarters is about to open. We actually are going to have to pick this up after we finish the supermarket because population growth is out of control, which is excellent. And what else? I guess we should pick up Farver as soon as we have the money. There's not really a reason not to. We're currently at 6 of 7 on our planets we're allowed to colonize. And now the question of research. Do we want to move up into interspecies HR right now and maybe like put our interspecies HR actually probably on Gaikon? Gaikon would grow quickly enough that we'd be able to take Antares with that. Because it may be in our best interest to push hard on this side of the tree, right? For right now. Oh, the white market is pretty cool. Plus 5% per 5% Fidzi per major faction that's friendly. I assume that's peace or above. Xenoanthropology could be good. National Museum is relevant, and actually the Booster program probably is also relevant. We could come back over to here. Oh, impactless sites. We should get this. Workers' Campus and access to the hero part of the marketplace. Those are both obviously big value for me. Alright, we have access to magnetic field generators, not super relevant on this planet. Don't really want to be building that. I guess we could build ourselves some real ships. Although we went to all the trouble of researching real ships, then we got a bunch for free. Spin project, for sure. That is a thing. That is a thing we need. We also want to tack that onto here. Got a lot of important stuff building. On Ceres, we probably want to leave the industrial zones, actually. On Nakar, also, probably want to leave the industrial zones. Gatria, sadly, did not count for forests. I had such hopes. Here, we probably don't want to mess with this yet. We want to let that just build out. Okay, let's play one more turn here. I want to get this thing moving. We may be able yet to gain control of a planet that will give us control of forests as well. I don't know why I did that. We're just going here anyway. Oh, I did this. Black Tax Authority plus 30% dust, but can only be built on home systems. The good news is, any civilization that housed a minor faction is the home system of that minor faction. So we actually have several places we can build this, and it's relatively cheap. Also, trade routes. So we want to build a trade company subsidiary here. And I think this is the most important thing we could possibly do. And in fact, supermarkets are going to wait until after that. Yeah, we want to get our first trading company running. So this is a focus for us, for Dustwise. So we discovered Adamantian, which is a cool thing to discover. We received a quest. I was filtering the reports, and the reports were good. Our sales were up, the Mios clans and affiliates were happy with business, and all the regulatory inspectors were 3 jumps behind when it came to keeping up. Still, Arden looked like somebody had sugared his cod. Nobody gets it. This is just the same old stuff. Old chum and new packaging. That's not the big opportunity. You know what is? He opened his mouth to say it, but I beat him to it. Dust, sure. But right now, it's good as a currency standard, and I don't want to get crazy about it. When the opportunity comes, we'll move, but I'm not going to kill the sweet deals we have going for something risky, something that might cause bad blood. He was fuming, pacing, just a fish who wanted to swim with the sharks before his teeth were even formed. Right now, we have 2 things going. The Mayos and the Lancelum are allying to grow the trade routes, capture resources, and expand our markets. The Omokar and the Arakio are going full exploitation. Real estate, commercial buildings, entertainment complexes. And we can go with either one as soon as we solve our problem. He leaned in. He didn't like that word either. See, the politicos and paper pushers are screaming for attention. New laws, restrictions, inspections, all the stuff we wanted to leave behind. It isn't fun, but it's critical as oxygen. Regulations, politics, influence. I gave him a list of names, addresses, vulnerabilities, secrets, and lobbyists, and told him to go get to work. He was about to go digging in the smelliest parts of the Lumeris bilges. So, if we go industry-friendly, we will immediately complete this, because the industrialists are one of our leading political parties, and we will receive the pay-it-forward law, which is awesome. Or we could go trade-friendly. We'd have to get the ecologists into power, and in exchange, they would give us 15 approval on every system that has a company headquarters. This is a much worse law, and this is harder to do than this, which will be done as soon as we hit end turn, because I'm pretty sure that's only going to check at the beginning of each turn. The Omokar and the Arakio see the galaxy as planets, not routes. Help them gain political influence so they can minimize labor and workplace safety problems and exploit the galaxy more efficiently. To be clear, we are not trying to minimize problems, we're trying to minimize the reporting of problems. You know, you can never play this game without being the bad guy, right? Alright, so when this thing arrives, we will drop on Liesel. That'll be good for us. What we've met here are the Mavros. That would be a cool trait to have. And also, they're a great minor faction. It's like a great population unit. So, we're not going to do another turn, but before we end the episode here... Okay, so we see Hisho worlds. Let's send this down here properly and actually get vision of that world. And I assume this way we're going to find their home system. Over here, we're very close to lots of exciting new exploration. We are about to hit 50 with these guys, and I think we will be able to take the assist quest. You know what? If the Unfallen don't step it up here, they have to actually vine the system over to get control of it. If they don't pull that off pretty quickly, we may end up with another system over here. We are definitely going to need the techs over here that give us access to more colonization limit, because we are straining against the one we have now. Although approval's in such a place that maybe we don't have to worry about it that much. Our final act here is going to be figuring out how soon we can get this trade company subsidiary done. So we have a lot of resources. I am comfortable selling a lot of these off. We need to get to 4.5 though. I'm also causing inflation, by the way. The inflation is based on the total amount of dust produced in the galaxy. Actually, maybe I'm not. Because this money kind of comes out of nowhere, right? Like, this is not anybody's money. I'm not sure. The word produced used here makes me uncertain. It may be just dust that actually comes from, like, the amount that you make at the beginning of the turn. So can we get anywhere near 4.5k? And sell this stuff off. I'd actually like to hold the blue caps, because I want to get more system boosters. We could sell all of that, but it's actually not even very valuable. A single unit of adamantium is less valuable than titanium. I guess people are probably buying the titanium, right? So we'll make this sale. We'll sell some of these off. We're not going to be able to do it next turn, but we're going to be able to do it soon. I kind of want to just... Yeah, alright. I said we weren't going to do another turn. I want to finish this. I want to buy this out. I want to have a trading company running before the end of the episode. So they're going to work it, which is going to bring down the price, and we're going to continue to produce dust, which is going to help us as well. Plenty of workers and fewer whiners. If that doesn't give us the galaxy on a platter, I don't know what will. We're tearing through this. The kid is dealing pretty well with the Omakar and the Arakio. His returning stolen funds might have helped, but he also pitched a pretty good story about performance-enhancing ingestibles, most of which grow on Mios farms. Or, as he puts it, farms from farms. So what we need next is clear. The more laws we can get passed, the more amendments and riders we can slide in there to protect our business. This is known as regulatory capture. Maintain 2 industrialist laws. We did just pick up a new industrialist law, so probably pretty easy. And we will reduce the amount of approval required for government change. The thing is, at this point in the game, I don't really want to change off of Republic. I like Republic a lot. Yelchin has gained a couple of levels. Oh, I didn't actually spend the skill point we got last time. So that's bad. He gained 1 level. Yep, okay. You know, it's a minor setback, really. We are actually growing to encompass this pretty quickly. That's going to be so good. Man, things are going so well this game. Almost, like, weirdly, suspiciously well. Can we get to 3.7k? It is 3658. Rounding. Well, that's 47. That's like half of it right there. It looks to me like we might be able to get there if I'm, like, pretty aggressive with selling resources. Which we can afford to be, right? Sorry, I guess I am I am 9 dust short. We will sell 1 of these. Yes, 1. Okay. Turn 33, our trading company is up and running. That feels pretty good. We need to pick up some more colonization tech for here pretty soon. For the moment, we don't really need the supermarkets, but maybe we should start building them. I do want to get the Academy Embassy up as well, and I suppose it doesn't really matter where we build it. At some point, all this is going to wear off, and when that happens, we will want to have already built our approval structures. So let's talk about laws. We could, instead of running that, run Pay It Forward, which is awesome for us. It's also very negative for us right now, but... It's very negative for us right now, but in terms of influence, but man, that's good value, because literally all of our systems are ecstatic right now. Also, do we need 10 approval on Gaikon? Not really. Let's double our experience for a little while. 15 turns of doubled experience for the hero. That's pretty good. We're
Your
now...
offensiveness drives.
Let's see here. He's talking about taking us over. I don't know. I wasn't listening. 210 dust. Am I able to put together 210 dust? Probably the best play here is just to wait a turn. Just one more. Just one more little turn, though. That's all it is. It's just one more little turn. Gosh, things are going well. I'm feeling so good. Like, I'm feeling so good that I think that something terrible must be about to happen. The other shoe is going to drop, right? Please merge up here. I have encountered the planet of Kairos. Down here, okay. So the actual Hisho homeworld is this way. Probably. That influence bubble, I was interpreting this as being like down to here, and then this influence bubble just being, you know, AI home system influence bubble sized. Although the Hisho do produce influence pretty well, don't they? Let's do some of that. And some of this, maybe? Just try to, like, guess where the ends of those star lanes are. And then we probably go this way. There's a lot of intel out there to gather. If we keep Orm clear of enemy ships for 10 turns, we'll get a bunch of resources we can sell. Which one is Orm? You know, that might actually happen. I don't have any ability to push it, but it still might happen. And here... I would like to make some friends. I was going to spend 200 dust on something, and I don't remember what now. That's the world we're in. What could it have been? I mean, it should be this, right? We should bribe these guys. Okay, bribe, and then they have just one curiosity to search. So I guess the question is, do I want to do this more quickly? I kind of think the answer to that is yes. So, bribe. And then we'll also search this. Alright, that'll get that rolling pretty quickly. Also, we gained extra vision for our fleet that's about to go out and really explore a bunch of stuff. We got even more adamantium. It's like Christmas morning out here. So, I'm going to explore this way. I know that the system that's at the end of this star lane is potentially our biggest value. I'm going to maybe do this as well. It could be that this star lane and this star lane co-terminate, but maybe not. So I'm going to just try to feel that out. Okay, ooh, we have good stuff. Good stuff to start building here. Only 280 industry for this. That's awesome. That's just great. We have a lot of important builds to get done. Once we get all this stuff done, it's definitely time for the Black Tax Authority. In fact, it's probably time for the Black Tax Authority right now. Or... this is going to be a lot of extra dust. Yeah, okay, well, let's do it this way. We actually still have time on Gaikon. We haven't been getting new population quite as quickly as I thought we might. Here, we definitely want to get this going. On Ceres, is this where I... Nope, I just cannot remember what I was going to spend 200 dust on, because we could probably make it happen. Boy, forgetfulness. This is a real thing. So we massively outpower them here. We have 400 manpower. And we have the magic of preemptive bombings. So we won't get this turn, but we may get it next turn. We'll probably get it next turn, actually. That's going to be another bit of loot. We do still need to think about actually getting Farver under control. I remember what it was. It was the quest. We were going to take this quest. Okay, we can put together 210 dust this turn. Shouldn't be a problem. This stuff is still the most valuable stuff in the galaxy, and we're mining it fast enough that I really don't feel bad selling it. Ever since they can remember, the Harmony have attached divine significance to a distant blood-red star in their night sky. To some, the star is a symbol of the crucible of fire that will one day consume the universe. To others, it is a symbol of the fire of creation. In either case, every year the Harmony celebrate the star's existence through the Burning Light Festival, which lasts 3 whole days and nights. Now that the age of contact has come upon the Harmony, they would be grateful if you would send a pilgrimage to the star so that their most learned scholars can pay all their respects. It's true that we sometimes forget the incredible power of the fiery beacons that light up the endless darkness, that are the ultimate origin of all life. A pilgrimage for the Harmony would be an honor, so search that curiosity when you have 100 dust. You get back here. Oh, I can't give you new orders until... Well, alright. Hey, should I do another turn? I'm going to do another turn. Here's the thing about another turn. I'm worried that I'm going to forget to go back to Maz. We're going to be able to redirect this ship next turn. So we're going to do one more turn, and this time I actually mean the one more turn. If I manage to snake that minor faction, that's going to be a big thumb in the eye of both the Unfallen and Horatio, so we do have to be wary about that. Okay. Get back over here. You are needed. Oh, somebody beat us to the Calgaros. There's another player over here. I guess I should have expected. Okay, that's interesting. We'll have a chat with them at some point. Let's finish the ground battle here at Liesel. Wipe out these pirates. Get ourselves 600 dust. Wow. Okay. That's pretty alright. And then we take this fleet back to here, refill, and then we go to Fatia and do the same thing, right? I see no reason to wait. The game's going alright, I guess. So here's hoping that we have done this quickly enough to get... I mean, these guys are allied with the with an unknown empire, although the text is not colored. So I wonder if it means that it's a different unknown empire than this one. I mean, we're going to meet them probably next turn or the turn after because of the probe. So I guess we'll know a lot more then. Decreasing tensions in the galaxy lead to a general increase in prices for luxury resources. Hey! That sounds pretty okay. Wow, that is an increase. Cool, good to know. Oh, hey, heroes. Well, some of these guys are pretty expensive. We have here a technologist overseer. Certainly an interesting prospect. I do like some of the stuff that overseers do. What else do we have? Vidyani are pretty cool. What party are you? You are scientist, so you probably would not be a political leader, which is a shame. And then I actually don't really like Seekers that much as governors past the first one, although, you know, personal militia is pretty cool. Ublart Essicus, who is some kind of thing, I don't know what the hell he is. Is he supposed to be Cephaloros, maybe? That's wild. He's an industrialist, so he would get into the Senate, because we don't currently have an industrialist leader. He is also a scavenger. That's alright. Reduction in ship costs. That's pretty cool, too. We can take him. He's not bad. Malk Unbound. Who unbound the Malk? Why would you do that? The Cravers do have some pretty cool skills. And this thing, where he causes depletion points on planets in order to supercharge the system, could actually be offset by the fact that we have sowers available to us. Also, extra industry right away. He's not a great governor, but he's an okay governor. Also plus industry, just from his natural skill. And then Woodsfez. I know that we have had Woodsfez in our thing before. He's a scavenger overseer. That's a combination of traits that I like quite a bit. Reduces the cost of system improvements. Okay. The good news is, he's the guy who we can probably afford. We just unload some of this stuff. I need... What is the actual price? 1218, and I am at 1037. So I need less than 200. Yeah, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Let's hire Woodsfez and get him to work on Timos. I'm just thinking that this is a place where his eventual ability to produce lots of influence will be useful, but maybe I should put him someplace where we're going to finish things more quickly. Just thinking, you know, in terms of getting him more XP. Because, like, this is pretty compelling. Yeah, let's put him here for now. So he'll get some XP boost. We need to get him to I mean, we need to get him through this skill, obviously. And honestly, once he's through this, that's probably good enough to move him over to Timos. And then we'll be able to envelop Antares and figure stuff out afterward. We'll take him. Like, we're climbing up that side of the tree anyway. We'll get there. We discovered a black hole. Here. Is that... really? Nope, I discovered a black hole over here. That makes more sense. I was going to say, how did I manage that one? Okay, well, with that, for real this time, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm very excited about the pace of our unfolding here. Come back next time to see if we can continue this forward momentum. And we'll see you then.